In this video, we're going to be using the legendary Coloniali Mango Oil Shaving Soap and the Gold Dollar 207 with the Frank Misc Edge. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host, CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. And if you have not subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing below. So, as mentioned before, today we're going to be using the legendary Coloniali Mango Oil Shaving Soap, which sadly is no longer available. This is a true classic, wonderful soap. If you can get your hands on it, which is very difficult to do, I highly recommend it. It's one of the great classics out there. Used to be sold in this terracotta bowl or by the puck, which you see there. Tremendous shaving soap out of Italy, I believe. And we're going to be using the Strike Gold Shave Gold Dollar 207 today. And let's get started. Let's go ahead and mist. 24 hours growth there, standard. And again, this is just plain water, if you're curious. And I'm going to take the puck and just load some on my face like a shave stick because I'm using the Strike Gold Shave Executive, not today. And boy, it just sucked all my lather out of the bowl into the brush. So I don't know how the lathering is going to go. Those dense knots, boy, they'll really suck that lather in. Nothing wrong with that at all. Man, this stuff smells great. It's really hard to describe. It almost has a sort of a chocolatey quality to it. When you see mango oil, you think citrus, but it's not that. It's more of a, for me, almost like a, excuse me, almost like a chocolatey type vibe. It is terrific. Most people really enjoy it. And sadly, it's no longer produced. And that is just really a bummer because it's an excellent soap. So we have our Captain's Choice bowl here and our Strike Gold Shave Executive Knot in the Craving Shaving, I call it Red Planet handle. And let's see if we can get lathered up today. Boy, this knot is so dense, it's ridiculous. I have not had any problem with mine. I saw DK use his the other day. I think I've lost maybe 3 hairs in total from this brush. It is very dense relative to what I normally use. And I'm not honestly the biggest fan of Badger. I have a handful of Badger knots that I use. I don't really love Badger. There's a piece of soap right there from my bowl. Put that back in there. Get back in there. For me, the synthetics, they don't hog the lather the way some Badger can. But what it comes down to, it's all personal preference because any brush will work for you if you take the time to get accustomed to it. But Badger is just generally not my thing. Although I do like this knot. It's really soft. And that is its greatest attribute for me. The density can sometimes almost be too much in some of the newer Badger brushes. Because coming from the advantage of synthetic brushes is they almost always let go of the lather very easily, whereas Badger can sometimes hold on to it and bore. And so a dense knot like that, you got to work at it a little bit. But it is a really nice soft knot, which I really enjoy. And so let's try Frank's Edge again today. I think I've used this razor once, and I'm pretty sure I came away feeling that this was an excellent edge. And that's, of course, the way it's feeling today. Very nice. Very nice edge on this. This is from Strike Gold Shave. Got this gold. I don't think they have any of these in stock currently, but I'll link this section on the Strike Gold Shave website for you if you're interested in maybe trying one of his edges, which is a very good edge. There's a lot of very good honers in this hobby, including Frank, Stallion, Paul, Lather Me Whiskers, John June. I mean, there's so many really talented honers. And of course I hone my own edge. And the reason I bought this was to put my own edge on it. I just haven't had time to do it yet, but I will. But this is a very nice edge. So if you're looking to try a straight razor for the first time and you don't want to spend a lot of money, then you may want to try a gold dollar or something like that, because you can get into it for around 30 bucks ish. You can get one from Strike Gold or the Stallion. It'll come well honed and you can sort of get your feet wet without having spent a lot of money. And I think it's a good way to start. A lot of people disagree because they'll say, oh, the steel is bad on the gold dollar and they're going to get a bad shave. And I'll be honest with you, based on my experience, albeit limited with straight razors, the gold dollar shave as good as every other razor I have. Assuming they're well honed. Now, will they hold an edge as long? I don't know. But they do shave as well for me. If the edge is well honed, I almost don't care what sort of razor it is, as long as it's well honed, it will shave. So let's see if we can get some lather out of this knot here, see if it'll give it back to me. Pass number 2. Again, I'm not somebody who typically sprays a brush like this to lather, but in order to get this lather out, I think I'm going to have to. It's typically not what I do, because again, you know, badgers are not my thing. I prefer the ease of use of synthetics, but this knot is really soft in the tips, which is one of the reasons I like it. Has it converted me to badger? No. There's no badger in existence that I've tried. And keep in mind, when I started out, I tried all the high-end badgers for a couple of years. And I ended up settling on synthetics just because they were no fuss, no muss, and they let go of the lather very easily, and they make lather very easily. But a lot of people really prefer badger or boar. And that's entirely okay. It's really up to you, but I prefer synthetic simply because of the ease of use. There's almost no question that they're easier to use. That's almost irrefutable. And so that's why I like them. But this is a very soft and dense knot. And so I have enjoyed using it. I want to say this is maybe my 6th, 7th time using it, and I have enjoyed it. So thank you, Frank at Strike Gold. Ooh, I think I put my Achilles heel once again, putting that blade carelessly to my neck. I keep doing that, and I know better than to do it. So there'll probably be a line down there somewhere. I know not to do it, and yet I do it. I can't stop myself because I get distracted with the jibber jabber. And every time you hear me say, ooh, that's me realizing I've made a mistake. I've made a terrible mistake. It's no big deal. But that's why you really have to be careful at all times with these straights and shavettes. So as I always say, do as I say and not as I do. Sometimes, because I have a tendency to lose focus when putting the razor to my face, and that is almost always, see it right there, that little line. And I keep telling myself I will stop doing that, but I probably never will, just because, you know. And really, the way you overcome that is just simply come flatter to your neck, or wherever you're putting the razor. Just come in flat. Don't come in at an angle. And then you will avoid those sort of mishaps. And I honestly should not be having those sort of mishaps at this stage, but you know what? It is what it is. And I'm not one of those type of guys that's going to not show it, because you can learn from my mistakes rather than doing it yourself, hopefully. Very nice edge. Very nice indeed. No problem at all here today with the gold dollar 207, other than that little mishap, which is, again, something I do pretty regularly. Or I wouldn't call it regularly, but it seems like once every couple of weeks. I do that last time I did it right there with the wick. Don't do that. Because, you know, there's always a price to be paid when you're careless with these. You can, honestly, you can almost do anything and get away with it with a DE. The only thing you can't do and get away with the DE is make a horizontal movement this way. When the blade is in your razor, if you make a horizontal movement this way without an up and down movement accompanying that horizontal move, it is a cut. Other than that, you can get away with almost anything, but with straights and shavettes, you can get away with almost nothing. So just keep that in mind. Go easy. Be mindful of your technique at all times, unlike me. But honestly, I enjoy talking and you know, sharing these shaves. If I were doing this myself in front of the mirror and really focusing and not flapping, the shaves would be, I'm sure I would do that far less frequently, but I enjoy it. And so that's the sort of the, for me, that occasional mishap like that is acceptable just because I realize that I'm not 100% focused. I'm focused on talking, and I do try to keep it moving at all times with the talking. I watch some videos and they'll be like what seems like, you know, 45 seconds with no talking, and that's okay, but I prefer to keep it moving because it's the type of videos I like to watch. I don't like to watch a lot of dead air on videos, and so that's just my preference. I want to hear about somebody, what's been going on, and, you know, watch them shave as well, but mostly I'm interested in hearing what they have to say about the products and maybe what's going on in their lives and so on. That's always been entertaining for me. Again, come in flat, flat, flat. Not at an angle like I did there. And if you do that, if you come in pretty flat and then get to your working angle, it'll be a lot better. And that will definitely be a line. And I've been doing that more recently. I don't know why. Other than, you know, I've been quite distracted, I guess. And it's just sloppy. And that is really the thing with these straight razors. You cannot afford to be sloppy. You cannot really afford to be rushing, although there are people that are very fast. For me, it's more advantageous to slow down, take your time, and make sure you're doing things right. And of course, I don't always do that. That's okay. It's all part of the learning process. And even today, I'm still learning. I think maybe after a year or so, you know, maybe we'll have most of the learning under my belt, but I'm still learning. Each time I do that, you think I would learn even more, but I don't. It's hard-headed. But I will say that the shaves are still quite enjoyable. It's aggravating when I have a mishap like that due to lack of focus. You know, you get aggravated, and you see that the next couple of days, you know, I got to do better. Because we're all sort of competitive that way. And I'm competitive, of course, with myself. And how I, you know, want to, or what will make me happy in terms of execution. So competitive that way, I would say. Not really competitive so much with other people. But it's just one of those things where you just have to keep plugging and plugging and plugging in. We're going to keep rolling, and that is one of the times where I'm quiet, when I'm working that little space right there. All right. Apart from that little memory line, we had a decent shave. It can't be great because, look, if you mess up, it's not great. So we will not call it great, but otherwise quite enjoyable. Let me rinse. We'll come back with the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we're back with the Magic Made by Witches. This is Thayer's Witch Hazel Cucumber. I think I got a little soap still there. So other than the little momentary lapse, pretty nice shave there. It felt nice. The only stinging with the PAA Allen block was right there in that spot where I got a little careless. And so otherwise, not bad, but we will work to do better. Because look, you can't call it great if you're making errors like that. All right. What did we use today? Gold Dollar 207 from Strike Gold Shave. Magnificent edge. I really enjoyed it. The Strike Gold Shave Executive Knot still holding up very well. It has been very durable for me with the Craving Shaving Red Planet handle there. It does hold a lot of lather in there relative to a synthetic, but they're really soft in the tips, really good custom hand-tied sort of knot available from Strike Gold Shave. Of course, our Captain's Choice bowl, which I absolutely love. And we're going to finish it off today with Honest Abe by Strike Gold Shave because this fragrance is just fantastic. Of course, we use the legendary Coloniali mango oil soap. I wish this were still available because it's just probably my favorite classic soap of all time. It is that good. And it smells great, and it just, I don't know, I just love it. So let's get some of this wonderful Honest Abe. And by the way, this was, the Honest Abe wasn't in stock for a while, but I noticed last time I looked at Strike Gold, they had Honest Abe. Oh man, what a scent this is. It's not anything like the Coloniali, but this is beautiful. Citrus, whew, Honest Abe from Strike Gold. And who doesn't like Honest Abe? Lincoln. Oh man. Whew. I tell you, this is one of my favorite fragrances here. Just absolutely terrific. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us as always. I've been your host, CDB, and I'm reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.